What? Yeah, let's talk about it.
Here's some codes to save you some cash on your next Middle Eastern niche or designer fragrances.
What's going on, guys? My name is Neve. Welcome back to AROMATIX. Before we get started with today's video, make sure to leave a like, hit that subscribe button, and check me out on all my other socials. I do Q&A style videos, and we're pretty active elsewhere. So if you want to get insights on all these hidden gems before the videos, then yeah, you know what to do. So let's go ahead and today talk about a couple of fragrances that are getting a lot of buzz and getting a lot of questions. I'm actually getting a lot of requests for these fragrances. Neve, did you see fragrances people are talking about? They smell like Ultramall. And yeah, that's exactly what one of them smells like. So today we're gonna be talking about Tribal Intense and Tribal Blue, and a new release also from the house of Wataniya. Wataniya and Grandeur are both sister companies. They're not related to Latafa. Once upon a time, I made the mistake of thinking they were. I released a video, and I think a lot of people are a lot of people did watch that video. So I apologize for any confusion I made, but Al Wataniya actually has their own factory. They're Wataniya, they're Grandeur, and Grandeur Elite. And they've always had banger sleeper fragrances. Before I even, had a lot of eyes on me, I was talking about all these brands, guys. Wataniya, Grandeur, Fragrance World, Latafa, all of them. And this is one of those where I think they're actually improving even more. And the more light and eyes that get on them, the more improvements they make. So a company that reinvests back to give back to the community that's investing in them. And so today we're going to be giving light to some of their fragrances that deserve light. So although they are doing, I appreciate the fact that they're doing, they have to be quality still, but they actually deliver on quality. So let's go ahead and get started with today's video. And we're going to start off with Tribal Blue. When I initially got my nose on this, it was in a convention, I believe, in Miami. Yes, it was in Miami in 2023. And when I got my nose on the atomizer, right away, I was blown the away. And I was like, you guys, on my live stream at least, if you're not watching me, or if you're new to the channel, welcome to the channel. Thanks for subscribing. But I go to these conventions a lot. But I did a lot of live streams, and I always do live streams whenever there are events, etc. You'll get to see the owners, you get to meet the owners and see these fragrances before they even hit the market. And sometimes I'll grab them from the events and basically talk about them. While we were at the event, I got to show you guys the owners of the brand itself, and I got my nose on this. The initial spray or the initial smell of this, I was actually taken aback because of how good it smelled. It smelled designer quality. I kid you not, I didn't get any alcohol or anything like that, and that's the truth with this fragrance. However, now that I got it home, I got to live with it a little bit longer and a little bit more. And there are slight differences. So in my opinion, these are obviously clone fragrances. This is more so Ultramall, but there are certain differences. And this is also, I would say, what is it called? Le Beau de Parfum. Obviously, it's my favorite fragrance from, or one of my top 3 from the JPG lineup. So this has the pear, has the ambrette, has the musk, the tonka bean, etc. And it'll absolutely remind you of it. However, as it starts to dry down is where most of the difference is gonna come. And generally speaking, the opening is where most people are either sold or dropping a fragrance. I was sold at this one, but that's all I got to live through during that event. So for the longest time, I was just thinking, man, we are waiting for the absolute best inspo. Do I think this is absolutely the best inspo? I think it's one of the absolute best, but it's going to depend on what you're looking for. And generally speaking, that's going to be the case with a lot of subjective fragrances. I've been doing a good job, I think personally, at giving you guys both sides of the spectrum of subjective and objective, and trying to make it clear as to when we're on each side of the territory. And so for me personally, objectively, I think this is the highest quality one. However, subjectively, as it starts to dry down, it does start to detach itself away from the actual DNA of Ultramall. And so for that reason, I would say that this treads around in the opening about 90 to 95%, but in the dry down at around 80 to 85%. So at the top, you get this bright, musky pear with the hints of that vanilla and the tonka bean. So you start to get, immediately what you're smelling. You smell like designer quality fragrance that's just sexy, playful, flirty, club vibe. Except as it starts to dry down, it doesn't really get as warm, it doesn't get as ambery, it doesn't get as sweet, it doesn't get as just, straight up syrupy vibes, which I get with a fragrance like Ultramall. And so for that reason, the first 4 hours are magical with this stuff. It just doesn't go as warm. However, this could serve as a positive thing for a lot of people. And this is where it starts to get more objective. It comes down to your preference, basically. If you want the closest, the absolute closest, in my opinion, this stacks up very close to something like 9 p.m. And 9 p.m. though starts off as like the mid and dry down of Ultramall. And this one starts off as the top and mid of Ultramall. So it's kind of like, what do you want? Do you want more playful, musky, and sweet? Then 9 p.m. Do you want more of that quality and refinement, the opening of the pear and some of those mids? And the vanilla and ambers are still there, just not as dense. Then this is the one to go with. I personally, now we're gonna talk subjective, I personally like this more. I have more of a taste for refinement. 9 p.m. is a bit more muskier and vanillic and tonka, and there's nothing wrong with that, but it depends on what you're looking for. This smells higher quality to my nose personally. Plain and simple. But like I said, it does leave you craving for some once you get to the mid and dried out. All things considered, gentlemen, we're talking about, and ladies, we're talking about a fragrance that's under 50 bucks, that smells like fragrances that sell for 130 to 140 bucks. So this is a fragrance where honestly the original I do always say you should grab, and I still say you should grab it if you really like these. But if you can't, then these are still okay. At around 85% for this one, and I would still even call Ultramall about 85% as well, just in different ways. They shine in their different ways. I would say that this is still worth the pickup for sure. A little fresher, more versatile. You can wear it to the office, you can wear it to the gym, whereas 9 PM might be a little bit more challenging, but still, even then I would still do exactly that with that. School, gym, office, what both of these are. This one just has a little bit more of a freshness to it, and the quality shines in this one from the beginning much more. All things considered, great option, price point, and the performance of this is like about 7 hours, so pretty solid. Maybe it'll get more as it starts to, you know, mature, etc. And the other thing that I want to mention about Ultramall is the fact that the brand in itself has a proprietary blend. You can absolutely smell it in some of their musk or something that's like this funk that they have across the board that no house has been able to recreate. They get close, but it's kind of like their seal of the deal. Like, if you want ours, this is what you have to get. You have to get ours. Like, if that's the smell you want, we know how to make it. And that's why I still to this day recommend Ultramall, but this is still a great option. Moving on to the next one is Tribal Intense. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is gonna be the exact same case. I kid you not, it's the exact same case. So they're doing really well. They're doing really well with their fragrances. You're gonna get the top. You're gonna get a little bit more of the citruses than you would with the original in itself, but very respectable. I would say though that because of the fact that Le Beau Le Parfum rides off of an ambery vanilla DNA, this is one that seems like it might be slightly not as close, but definitely closer than anything on the market today. Even including the Maison Alhambra version, this smells higher quality. The Maison Alhambra, the Glacier, is still decent, and for the time it was the best one. This gives it a run for its money. That one, although getting relatively close, it doesn't last as long, and it just doesn't smell as higher quality as something like Tribal Intense. Absolutely, in my opinion, the best clone of Le Beau Le Parfum. And if that's what you're looking for on a budget, considering the fact that it's harder to grab that fragrance because it's an exclusive, I had to pay like 180 on their actual website to grab that, it's still worth grabbing. So there you have it. About 6 hours. It's not the closest thing in the world, but still one of the best ones right now. Moving on to the last one, it's called Hayat. Hayat looks like a feminine bottle, but this in fact smells like Angel Share. If you like Angel Share, this is another one of those. How does it compare? We're gonna watch it in the remake of the Fragrance War. There's gonna be so freaking many. I am like, man, that's gonna be a long video. But Hayat actually smells really good. It smells boozy. It smells like Angel Share. It's not so much khamra vibes. It actually has a booze nature to it, but there isn't really much more I can say about it. It does smell good. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're thinking about one to grab, this is still a great one. And personally, because of the bottle design, I would say that it looks more feminine and it would suit the ladies a little bit more. Beautiful design on the bottle though, and it smells like the whole Angel Share. Apple pie vibe, basically, and cinnamon vanilla. Great fragrances from Grandeur. These are really good. I love this one, and I really like this one. So if you were considering these are absolutely worth the pickup, especially under 50 bucks. No-brainer fragrances. Before we end the video, I don't think I gave you guys the occasions for something like this. I find Le Beau Le Parfum to be a fragrance that you can wear during the summertime that transitions from the day to the night. It starts off with a freshness, it gets more creamy, vanilla, coconutty, etc. Or just the nighttime if you want to wear it during summer dates. This can definitely still do that, but it has more of a freshness, meaning more versatility. So there are pros and cons to everything, including these fragrances and their differences and how far they get off. So that's pretty much all I have to say. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. Make sure to leave a like, hit that subscribe button on whatever side it's on, and until the next one, peace.